So let's have a review. Here we are on the session list page for this client BA10012. So far this client has had one session created, and we can see this listed here as an assessment session which hasn't yet been attended. In this video we're going to take a look at the session form. Now we access the session form by simply highlighting the date and clicking on it here. And this brings us to the session form that was created related to that session. Now you'll notice that this is pre-populated, of course, with whatever data you input from the appointment form when you created this session. So you've got the date, the treating practitioner, it's an assessment, it's the type of form, etc. Now it's important to recognize that this cannot be edited from here. So if you realize that, for example, you made a mistake with the date entry, or there was something about the type of measures that were chosen to be used in the session that's incorrect, you cannot alter it from here. You have to return to the session list page. And from here, you can go to the editing tool here to edit that particular appointment. So any changes you need to make, that's where you make them from editing the appointment, which is accessed on the session list page over here on the right. Here's the tool, edit this appointment. Okay, so going back to continue to look at this particular appointment, this is the area you will come back to then after the appointment has taken place to enter any notes related to that particular session. And if you need a bigger field here, you've got a handle at the side that you can extend the size of that here. You'll also be able to record, was the appointment actually attended or cancelled or failed to attend or whatever. Now moving on down this page, really it is the right side over here is the important area. These are the buttons that control the actions that will send reminders to your client or will send links to the measures that you want your client to fill in. So you can see here it says send reminder and measures link. Now obviously you will have to have verified email and or mobile phone number for the client should you choose to use this facility, otherwise it simply won't work. The alternative here is if you're wanting to work with your measures directly with your client when they come into your room or into the waiting area before the appointment, you can simply go to open here and this will open up the measures for them to fill in. So going back to remind yourself about the email verification, this is where it takes place here in client profile. The phone number and the email address must be verified. These boxes must be ticked green in order for the links from this session form to work, these links here on the right side. Over on the left side is simply where the answers will become populated. You would use this side if, for example, you were wanting to offer your clients the measures in paper and then transfer the information in afterwards, and you would choose all the various responses to the questionnaires in here. But working on the assumption that you're sending the measures out electronically to the client before the appointment, or you're opening the client questionnaires in the appointment, it is the right side here that's going to be the important part to use. Similarly, having conducted your session with your client, you've got two different ways of offering feedback, obtaining feedback from the client about that session. One is again to log in and open the client feedback questionnaire and offer it to them directly there in the room with you, or perhaps in the waiting area just after the appointment. Alternatively, you can send the link to the client afterwards. Now bear in mind also that if you have chosen originally in your messaging preference for the client, if you had chosen auto, that this will happen automatically, both in terms of outcome measures before the appointment, in which case they will be sent out about 6 hours before the appointment, or in the case of feedback measures after the appointment, they will be sent out a couple of hours after your appointment. So the auto feature will allow Pragmatic Tracker to do that by itself. You don't have to worry about it as long as you created the correct date and time for the appointment within Pragmatic Tracker. However, you can also override this feature at any time. So if you're in your session form and you want to override it or send them again or whatever, you're able to just click the link here and that will send them again.